Okay, we get into the next pen here. We got 3 pigs out of 3 different litters here. We're going to start with the hog that's got an ear identity crisis every once in a while, but it does fold over when he's not too excited. This is the small 4 that I alluded to earlier back in the first pen. So this would be a committed, back on Pack-A-Lunch's mom. Just a hog that was small within the litter that I think is starting to come on and going to have his best days in front of him.
Boy, look at this one's actual upper rib shape and forerib and kind. And again, I was impressed with his litter mate there and litter mates. And I think, again, once you get past his ears, boy, you can really look at his skull, and I think that's just an indication of what you see from their back. He's good and square. He's got the right type of angles, and again, his ears, I have confidence, are going to level out and be just right. But I think that one, again, relative to his contemporary group, should be a good feeding one that's got a great type of skeleton, and I absolutely love his rib shape and his upper rib.
Yeah. As a red one, you always want them to be wider down low than they are up high, and that's the way this one reads to me as he comes and goes. And this thing's hip and hind leg is just like his daddy's. I mean, he's got a long square hip with a lot of shape to his upper hip and a big, stout, flexible hind leg. I think that hog's ceiling is very, very high. Don't overlook him because he's a little skinny and his ears a little up. That's just a tag away from being just fine. So if we can grab the lighter colored one there, Bryce, this one will be a mate to the 5-litter boar pig we talked a couple pins ago there. So this is Statement Day back on one of Set the Curve's sisters.
Yeah, and one that, again, a little greener at this phase, but still has what you expect from Statement Day in terms of a little shorter body, one that's got a good type of stoutness. You study his forearm and his skull, but still, I think, reads with some extension, reads to have some length in terms of his hip. One that, again, I think relative to some others out here, if you're looking to buy one that's little greener, one that's you can feed on for a little while, I certainly think this one can do that.
Yeah, he's a stouty that's tall-shouldered and big feet and big appendages. Maybe not quite as, like Clay said, maybe not quite as much shape right out the backside of his blade today, but it will be there when the time is right from a maturity standpoint. So if you want to grab the other one there, Bryce, this is 8-6 coming at the camera right here. So this would be a 4th mate to all the 8s that we did here in the last pin, and this one looks like his mates. He's just a little smaller, so he's in a different pin. Big feet. Neat head and neck. I love how this thing's head and neck comes out the top side of his blade. His shape is good up high. He just looks like one of those, and here again, a good feeding red bear with a good rib cage and a good pin set in him. That ceiling gets pretty high.
Well, you talked exactly the first thing I was going to say, because when he came right over here to this corner, I would just saw his front 2 feet, and boy, they're big, they're spread, they're high quality, and that just works all the way up. And still, I think, one of the things I think relative to the red breed right now is we add look, but are we losing some of the base width and some of the genuine power? And he definitely does not do that. He has a good look still. He's got some extension, but doesn't sacrifice any of the basic power and width that these hogs have got to have. And honestly, the more he kind of gets out from the group and as it stands as an individual, he strikes me as just a really good, easy feeding kind that's got a few extras that if they all stay together in the long term, he may catch some of these other ones. This is one that I think you go and see him either at Brett's or at the sale, and you just keep studying him and you go, man, there's a lot of things I really like, and he's going to keep moving up your short list. So make sure to get this one out, study him, because I think, again, he does have the potential to catch them all when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Yeah, very high on this set of pigs and this litter in particular. I mean, these 8s, I can't stress enough how much faith I'd have in that particular sow, even though she's a 2nd litter sow. Man, that first litter fed awesome, and this litter looks like they're going to feed just the same. So, like I said, first pig was 4-3, lighter colored pig was 5-3, and we ended on 8-6 in this particular pen.